Hi, welcome to the Energy and Balance podcast. My name's Michelle, and today I'm going to be looking at the Akashic Records and what crystals can best help you access the soul wisdom and the higher insight that's contained in them. What are Akashic Records? Akashic Records are the spiritual belief that the universe contains an energetic library. And within this energetic library is the history of every soul and everything that's happened in their past, their present, as well as the potential future. Within that spiritual meaning, the Akashic Records are also described as existing within the subtle etheric plane of consciousness. And this consciousness can be accessed through meditation, intention, as well as increased higher awareness. Now, when I say the etheric plane of consciousness, what I actually mean is the energetic field around us. When you look at what actually that word means, Akashic or Akasha is where the Sanskrit word comes from. The translation is roughly ether, sky, atmosphere. So it's the energetic field that is basically everywhere or underpins all planes of existence. So within this energetic field, there is a storage, a knowledge, a library of all information that we can access when we work through it. And with that knowledge, we go there. And to a lot of people, that is a really exciting prospect of being able to tap into this information, tap into this ancient information. Some people like to call it the collective consciousness as well. But when we're actually looking at the collective consciousness, it's slightly different. Philosophy, they are related, but they're different. The collective consciousness was first come up with through the work of Carl Jung. And it is more about a shared energy field of human awareness, thoughts, beliefs. So it's the patterns that we create within our societal energy. And the Akashic Records is that universal library, that energetic record that contains all of that information about every soul and every existence. So even though they cross over, there is a slight difference from them, and it's easy to see how it can be confusing, but there is nothing stopping you when you're talking about these things in tapping into either of them, any of them, whether it's ancient wisdoms of Atlantis or whatever you want to tap into. Let yourself be guided to where you want to go. But if you're working with the Akashic Records, we'll move through, and it's really about that focus on deep self-reflection and finding out those underlying patterns, those blockages, anything that you're holding that can be detrimental to you, as well as understanding past lives. It's really deep on the past lives as well as the future lives, including the present. So it's that all-encompassing one that allows you to see into the past what you've done, or that has either been positive or negative to where you're going in the future, and understanding that, releasing the blockages that are allowing you to be stopped from achieving your full potential, and really letting go of any karmic lessons that you're holding on to. You know, that karmic damage that you need to release, learn the lessons so that you can move forward and really grasp that wisdom and what your soul purpose is. There are some crystals that I like to use when we're in these circumstances of working through the Akashic Records and working through past lives, working through lessons and everything else, that I find are really helpful to tune in to that further information. The first one I like is lepidolite. Lepidolite is really a fantastic crystal. It is a naturally calming crystal, and that's because it contains lithium, which is one of the reasons it's associated with the calmness, the emotional balance, and really the nervous system support. And that's what you need when you're working with the Akashic Records, because they can be emotionally overwhelming. They can bombard you with the real, what am I doing? What am I looking at? Do I want to release this that's been part of me for so long? Do I want to understand why I'm being stopped when it feels like such a fundamental part of you? But unless we actually confront some of these things and help to move through them so that we can understand why we're here, we don't progress. We don't move forward. So having that calmness, that peace, that mental chatter quieted, while you can rationally and look at things so that you can move forward, is very, very advantageous. The second one crystal that I like to use are phantom quartz. Now, there's a whole range of phantom quartz. There's green phantoms, red phantoms, plain phantoms, any of the phantoms. You can, whatever one is drawn to you to use when you're accessing this, because they all come with slightly subtle different things. So it's the actual phantoms within the crystals that help you. And the reason they help you when working with the Akashic Records is because they are structured and they have layers. It's kind of like the rings of a tree. You can look back at all of the different layers that are within your life, your past life, your future life, and you can separate them and look at each one subtly for the memories that are there, the experiences that are there, and all of those blockages and the karmic imprints that have been left on your soul over your lifetime. And that moves us on to something that I'm sure you will all understand. My next one is petrified wood. Petrified wood is said to be the keeper of ancient earth wisdoms. And I love organic stones. Organic stones. When I say organic stones, it means that it's come from something that's been organic and it has fossilized through a process over time. And what I find is with these ones, you have that balance within you. You have that balance of the live experience within, in this case, the tree. And then you have that process of those memories and everything else being stored within the stone over a long period of time so that that vibration is there. It really is about endurance, patience, and that long-term wisdom and understanding the cycles that you go through within your life. So exploring that higher consciousness, as well as just having that soul access to the history of moving through the different rings of your life, examining everything, seeing where there are changes, seeing where things are positive, seeing where things are negative. It also brings through that grounding that allows you to be connected to the earth and present. So it's more about connection and exploration and grounding. So using any of these together is going to be really, really beautiful in what you can do, as well as very, I choose my crystals when I am, particularly on different subjects, I choose the ones that are not all about this. I choose the ones that if you look at them and use them together, you are going to bring a balance right the way through in what you want to do. So it's like the masculine and the feminine, bring everything together to balance things out so that you have that support through different elements of it. Now, some of these crystals might jump out at you as I need to use that, and then you tear down. And you can use something as a soul crystal. But combining crystals is a wonderful way to really expand and broaden your experience within the energetic field. My next crystal is tanzanite. Tanzanite is it's the bridge between realms. It helps to connect your third eye and your crown chakra. And these are, by combining these two things, you're really bringing through the Akashic work. And it helps you to dissolve the energetic blockages. And just like most tanzanite has been heated to bring out that color. Tanzanite, for those of you that don't know, tanzanite starts off as a brownish color. And it was discovered that by heating it, you brought through this beautiful purple color, this energetic change that happened. And that's what tanzanite helps you do. Helps you to bridge between those realms, as well as allow you, through that heat, if you like, of confrontation, change and become everything you can be. So using tanzanite, it really does bring through all of that transformation and karmic healing that you need, releasing those old, dull prints that are on you and allowing you to really delve into and explore the deeper knowledge, and at the same time feeling safe in your spiritual progression. All right, the next one is a bit of a some people don't use it and can't use it. So I've kind of subtly added its mirror, if you like. Moldavite is the next one. Now, some people find Moldavite way too overpowering for them. And so they can't use it. If you can't use it, then I do suggest trying Libyan desert glass. I like to use the two in combination. I find they match each other really well with their energies and what they bring through. So rather than a fifth only crystal, I've put these two together. And Moldavite is, for those of you that don't know, is natural tektite. And the belief is that a meteor came down, hit the earth with such force that it caused an atomic explosion, and through this explosion, natural glass was formed. And this natural glass was a combination of earth and higher extraterrestrial. So you're combining the two, and that helps to bridge, because the Akashic Records are not just about Earth. The Akashic Records are that energy and that information that is out there through the entire universe. So if you're bringing through and using a crystal, a stone, that is the combination of both of those things combined, unearthly and earthly, then you're accessing a deeper level of what it is, and you can suddenly be brought forward with working through these things. Working with Moldavite or Libyan desert glass can be quite confronting, and like all Akashic record crystals can be, because the subject that you're working with is a confronting subject. So confronting, but also expanding, life-changing, accessing that higher information, having those epiphanies that go, oh, this is where I'm going. This is what I need to do. This is where I should be. And downloading that energetic information, accessing that energetic information from the Akashic Records that can allow you to move to those points that you suddenly understand. Those are my top crystals. Now, how to use them to access the Akashic Record work and really get in there. It really is, I've already touched on it, meditation, intention, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of this is going to be about meditation. And you can use them combined. You can create a grid around yourself while you're meditating. You can create a grid in a space that is your own personal space. As you know, I'm very, very high on everyone having that little space that they can go to. That can be the retreat. It can be whatever you need it to be. But it's your space where you can do what you need to do and set it up for what you want to access. So having a calm and grounded space, all you need to do is in your own space where you're safe, you can take a few slow, deep breaths with the crystals that you want. Let's say you have Moldavite in your left hand, your receiving hand. So you're bringing through and accessing the information. You have petrified wood in your right hand that is helping you ground and hold that information so that you can clearly do it through. Sitting in a meditative state with those two crystals and then slowly breathing and allowing yourself to go where you need to go is a fantastic place to start. While you're in that space, you can take it a step further. And you can set a clear intention that clear intention that you want to access that information specifically by moving forward and working through with strong intentions in your life. You are going to be able to bring through that information, and not just bring through that information, then implement it into your life so that you can progress forward, work through any blockages, release any karmic energy you're holding, and move forward to what your soul purpose is. So sitting down with intentions, sitting down with a calm, grounded space are a fantastic way to start it. Now, the third thing that you can look at is third eye placement. Now, some people, when meditating, like to sit up. And when you're working with the third eye placement, I probably recommend that you will lie down, because rather than holding the crystal to your third eye, you can do that. That's not a problem. But for some people, by holding it there, it inhibits them being able to meditate for as long as they potentially can. So with third eye meditation, I do like to do that in the lying down place and have a reasonably stable flat one that is going to sit naturally on your third eye. Now, the third eye ones, when you're meditating through the Akashic Records, I would probably recommend tanzanite, whereas if you're doing a gazing one, so a meditation, open-eyed meditation where you're actually focusing within a crystal and the information within it, I would recommend a phantom quartz. So, and you do it the same way as a lot of people understand the concept of your fire meditations, where you're looking within the flames to see what is there. The same thing happens within crystals. So you're looking within the crystal, and it becomes where you're seeing, you're not seeing the crystal as such, you're seeing within the crystal and the information that is being brought forward. So your eyes go out of that surface focus, and your third eye comes in and you're focusing within. Now, one of the really important things with Akashic Records, and it's the same with soul work, which I touched on a couple of podcasts back, shadow work, is keeping a journal. So important with Akashic Records, because you're doing the layers. And when we're in our deep meditative work, some things come through crystal clear, but they can, same with dream work, they can fade and go over time. So once you come out of these meditative states, you then use your journal so that you can keep your track, keep record of everything. Something symbolic might have come up that you don't understand at this point. A lot of people, myself included, will draw little images within our journal of symbols that we might have seen, or anything that as we're flicking through them and we're going through them, we mightn't understand them now, but in a year's time, something might trigger. Because I say a year's time because working through all of this is a slow process. It is a process that is going to take you, a lot of people, a lifetime to explore. Because once you've unlayered one of those layers and explored one of those layers, think of how old your soul is. Think of how many layers you have to explore to really become who you need to be. So keep on working through them. Keep on going. Keep everything open and ready. The next one is, once you've done all of these things, you do, and you've worked with this higher energy, you need to bring yourself back. You need to ground yourself. You need to really understand that you can't stay in a continuous high vibration state. There needs to be some grounding and there needs to be some balance. So bring yourself back down and ground yourself into it. Remember, this isn't a short journey. This is a journey of exploration that is going to take you through where you need to be, where you need to go, and what your real purpose is to understand. All right, I hope you've enjoyed today's Akashic Records information. It really is a fascinating subject, and once you get into it, it really is a soul-changing subject that'll let you take where it is. Open yourself up to look at it, open yourself up to move through it, open yourself up to understand yourself. Now, if you think that this is something that's helped you, please share it. Let's get the information out there. Let's start changing the vibration of the world one day at a time. And if listening to a podcast is going to help someone understand a little better, then please share it, like it, comment, whatever you want to do. All right, I will see you next week, or you'll hear me next week. Have a fantastic week, and remember, we can change the world one vibration at a time.